Everything we took out were things where Alice is God or there's a glitch in the system. I'm considering those the same thing. We took out any hallucinations. Well, did we though? I won't say that. Yeah, you know what we did? Except for the drowning thing. Did I get rid of the drowning thing? Runs a bath, memory. Yeah, almost drowns. Okay, so let's get rid of the hallucinations and the almost drowning and all that kind of stuff, because the reality is we have the glass, her getting pressed up against the glass. Let me see. Delete female propaganda. Alice guilt for not believing Margaret. Big party, freaks out in the bathroom. I don't know where the glass thing went, but I might have thrown it away too. Coincidence back. No, it's got to be early on, right? It's before the phone call, so it's over here. Squish in the window. So I got rid of that. So we got rid of all the hallucinations other than the memories. I think that's important. We got rid of all of Alice being God or there's a glitch in the Matrix. I think that's important. We got rid of that's a glitch. Let's see here. The extra explanation I don't actually care about, but that's fine. We got rid of her trying to delete herself with cellophane because that is completely against character of what she's trying to do. She's trying to find the answer. She's not trying to self-delete. Let's see. Out of the bathroom, we got that. And then just all the present day stuff. And so short of that, we lost 1, 2, 3, 4, call it 6 cards if you put those after the show ends, after the movie ends. So 6 with an average of 3 minutes is 18 minutes. There's 20 minutes. There's your hour and a half movie. Hour and 40 minutes, honestly. And it makes sense because now all of a sudden everything that's happening to Alice is motivated by her character's story, her character's emotional motivation. Let me make sure I'm on this. Yeah, it's motivated by her character's motivation to find out the mystery because Alice is an investigator. She's trying to solve the riddle, solve the puzzle. She's the private eye, she's the gumshoe in this strange world that she has been placed in. And by doing that, she goes from happy life, happy wife, or however you say that, to something is not right because what's her name is being weird and Alice is having these weird memories that she doesn't know are memories. Sure. And then things continue to get weird. And then once we go into 3, which is, let's look at what 3 is. Let's look at the story wheel real quick. 3 is, oh, it's too small. On a roll, Matt, come on. Go. So 3 is enter an unfamiliar situation. Let me put this over here. So we went from character and zone of comfort to need, they need something, to go, which is enter an unfamiliar situation. Search is adapt to it. So this is where the real investigation takes place, which is, again, it's Margaret telling her they're lying and her seeing Margaret self-delete and then feeling horrible about the fact that she didn't believe Margaret now that things are big, now that things matter. And Jack, being Jack, still gaslights her and says nothing's wrong. But Alice stays up and watches the propaganda. Hallucinates drowning. Actually, I don't even know if we need that, being totally honest. And then things get bad. So 5 is fine. So find what they wanted, which is she found the answer, which is everybody is back to normal. Everybody is the normal thing. But she still has the abstraction. She has this unknown couple, which she finds out to be a memory later on. She has the fact that none of the doctors, none of the men are going to help her. She finds that. The big party is where she finds that the men are staring at her, so she's on to something, so she has to figure it out. She wants to leave, which, sure, that's fair. And then she freaks out and tells Bunny everything, So I guess Find could use one more beat, honestly. So let's add a beat to Find, which is Bunny doesn't believe her, but she needs to see something. So she needs to find something, see something irrefutable. It's going to be refuted because that's what everybody's doing to her, but she needs to find something at the party that is irrefutable. So we do need to add a scene. We need to add 3 minutes, so we're back to 15 minutes instead of 18 minutes out. Anyway, 6, which is the pay the price for taking it. So Jack's excited because things are going well. The party, she's decided she's going to confront the dudes, and specifically Frank. She's the head of the Frank corners her at the kitchen. She's the head of the table, and she tries to corner Frank, and it goes badly. That's how you pay the price. Jack's devastated. That's the extra price, because now he's thinking she's actually going to ruin their lives. And then the big price is Jack has sold her out. He's turning her in, and she begs and pleads, and she'll be a good person. It's not going to matter. That's the price she's paying. Ignoring all the future stuff, all the present day stuff. I guess not future, just different reality stuff. The last price paid, and this actually could be the start of Act 3, so wherever you want to put this, either the end of Act 2 low point or the start of Act 3, is Dr. Collins standing over her, having done the shock treatment. She's good again. Which brings us into 7, which is Return, the Dan Harmon Return part. So I can show you that again. So we're up to bullet point 7 on here, the Return. Go back from where they started. So they literally do that, which I have so much respect for the writing of this, because they did it. They just didn't. It seems like in the movie themselves, in the directing themselves, they forgot that you need to track the emotionality of the character, not just the plot, because the plot is pretty awesome. So here's the Return. Alice is back. She's literally returned, and she's perfect. Bunny's excited, all that kind of stuff. She admits she has a fuzzy memory, which we know is a consequence of the shock treatment, and strongly implied that she might know that too. We have the morning montage, which is a same as the beginning, which is so great. I love it when that happens. Jack humming the unknown song. This is the last mystery that Alice needs to solve, because it's happened in every single act that somebody, usually Alice, is humming this song, and she's starting to remember because he's humming the song. And the obviously we know it's the song he sings to her when he, is in reality, but she knows it's important. She just doesn't know why. It causes her to remember being dragged in a different world, and maybe she's starting to remember that unknown couple is her and him, and that unknown person that was dragged is her. Ignore the onboarding where Jack gets basically told what the victory product is, because that's not useful. And then she remembers everything, and she confronts Jack about it, and Jack chips her down, so he has to say, okay, you're right, but now let's try to fix this. Blah, blah, blah. She deletes Jack, totally into that. He's really the villain of the story, honestly. It's what should have happened in the movie Passengers, where Chris Pratt basically kidnapped and sentenced to death Jennifer Lawrence's character. This is happening here. And so what didn't happen in Passengers, which is so unsatisfying, which was the proper comeuppance, is happening here. She gets to actually square off with her villain, which happens to be her husband, who has been gaslighting her this whole time, into it. Bunny finds her. Bunny reveals that she's known all along and that she's part of it, and she is the last sort of info dump that we need, which is, again, a dirty word, but Bunny knows the last essential thing is, now that you've done this, you have to get out, otherwise there will be consequences. So it really is, this is the end. This is the now capable of change. Bunny sees that, now it's time to change. This is all the now capable of change stuff, with the change at the bottom. Dr. Collins has to intervene. Again, I'm not super stoked about the fact that Dr. Collins and Frank are basically not participating in the finale, although Dr. Collins does crash in the car, where Frank just kind of gets his thing by his wife. Alice is outside. The men start freaking out. Yes, there's consequences because things are changing. Ignoring the montage, because that was basically just a really on-the-nose memory of what she thinks she has to do, where I would argue Bunny just should have to tell her she has to go. She has to go to this place. It's the portal. Go do it. The time for innuendo and not talking about things is over. Anyway, the men in red take the cars, the big car chase. I'm into that. Again, it's a pretty silly car chase. No big deal. Frank gets his comeuppance and gets deleted by his wife. Sure. Kind of easy, and I wish there was one more thing for Shelley to learn before it happened, but for the sake of Frank being sort of a lesser bad guy in this whole thing, her husband, Jack, being Alice's real bad guy, Frank getting his comeuppance in that moment, that's okay with me. Alice driving, crashes out of the car, has to walk the rest of the way, getting chased, gets to the building, has one last look of what her life used to be, which is this fake life, and then she leaves, and then you get the abstract images, which we know, and I think honestly it works as the end, as the onboarding the way it was. That's the onboarding, and then that's the end. She wakes up, it's over black, and if we really needed to, we could do a post-credits of Alice in the world that we exist in, where she's a surgeon, and her husband is kind of just a jerk and a loser, and has long hair and is ugly. Yeah, I'm okay with those as post-credits. I think we did it.